What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast is brought to you by my favorite buzzer, the Brio Scape. You guys know what's up with this thing. I keep talking about it. Everybody owns a trimmer, that battery-powered or plug-in buzzer that trims your hair, and everyone has had a bad experience with one of these things sooner or later. End it. Kill it dead, get the Brio Beardscape. This is a portable, battery-powered, rechargeable buzzer. It has a ceramic blade instead of a steel blade, so it lasts longer between lubrication periods. It doesn't rust. It's got a really nice high-horsepower motor that cuts through my thick Syrian beard hair, even when I get lazy and I scraggle it out. And it's got a battery that lasts a really long time. I literally charge my Brio Beardscape once per year, like literally once per year, and it takes like one overnight to charge, so I don't have to do very much at all. I can bring it on the road with me, and I know it's not going to die because it has a beautiful battery indicator on it. This thing, it's great. I talk about it, and people DM me. They're like, do you really mean that? And I'm like, yes, it rules. It may be time for all of you to upgrade to the Beardscape. Go to Brio4life.com. That's BRIO, the number 4 life.com, and use code SMOKING at checkout to get the best price on the internets for the Beardscape. That's Brio4life.com. Use code SMOKING at checkout. And let's talk about Race Chip. Race Chip works with your turbocharged and your supercharged cars, and you can play with things. They leave things on the table for you when you have these forced induction cars. And with Race Chip, you can get a healthy increase in power and torque up to 30% with just plugging and playing. You can also get better fuel economy on the highway. It's easy to plug and play it, just 15 minutes. There's specific manuals and installation videos on YouTube, totally accessible, and all your engine protection mechanisms will remain active because it does not modify the ECU itself. It's easy to remove if you want to uninstall it, and after removal, the car is in completely stock condition. It's TÜV approved in Germany, which means it is safe. It's good. TÜV is way harsher than America. It's been tested with several magazines, TV shows, and content creators, and there's a warranty of up to 5 years and a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with Race Chip, follow them at Race Chip Tuning. That's Race Chip Tuning on Instagram. They say the word chip twice. Race Chip Tuning on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Now, if you want to increase the power of your car in a healthy way, choose Race Chip for quality made in Germany. Go to racechip.us. That's RACECHIP.us. Special offer for the month of July. Use code SMOKINGTIRE, to get 10% off your order. Limited to one Race Chip per customer in the month of July. 10% off your order with code SMOKINGTIRE at racechip.us. Hit them up and get that power, son. All right, on this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast, we got Ryan Zumallen in studio. He is an automotive journalist. He's written for all the big buff books, and now he's written a book. His book, Slow Car Fast, is available for digital download. I bet you can guess what it's about. It is nonfiction. It is about slow cars fast and the virtue of that. He has a reading in Long Beach. If you're interested, July 28th, the 28th from 3 to 6. Check out Ryan's Instagram for that. And we're talking slow cars fast with Ryan Zumallen on the Smoking Tire Podcast.
What up, motherfuckers? It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Get in the fucking game, people. How you doing? We're live from the West Side, and the construction workers outside just left. Ryan Zumallen in the house. What's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Did you see the shit show out there?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Did you see what they're fucking building?
No, I saw it and just immediately turned and got away
They're
from it.
putting something the size of like a dump truck underground.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's the perfect thing to accompany a podcast studio.
Building Elon's tunnel.
Right. Oh my God. Hyperloop Station 1. That would be the greatest fucking troll. If Elon ended up trolling me by putting a fucking Hyperloop station, They don't like me at Tesla right now,
Yeah,
man.
there'll be the drop off from Smoking Tire Studio to Dodger Stadium.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Follow Ryan on Instagram. He is the author of Slow Car Fast,
Yes,
which is
sir.
coming out now, and a career automotive journalist and hair model. Zoomy575M on Instagram. And what's happening, my brother? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, a lot is happening.
You wrote a book.
It's a crazy summer. I did write a book.
How about that shit?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's wild, man.
Do you have is there cover art yet? If I Google Slow Car Fast book, will I get it?
Yeah, this should come up.
Because you sent me the chapters, which I read. Thank
Awesome.
you. I enjoyed them.
Great.
Slow car. Oops, I probably should look this up before you got here. Book, Ryan Z. Let's see what I get.
That should come up.
Where's the cover?
No,
Can I have
that's
no
not-
images? Where were you? Do you see anything familiar?
No.
Ah, you motherfucker.
The Instagram.
On your Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably right. Oh, here.
That's a flyer. For
That's a flyer.
for our reading in a couple weeks.
You have a reading.
Yeah.
How's that feel? To do a reading.
Dude, it's wild. It's like I just imagined, hey, it would be really cool if I called my friends who have a brewery and they let me do a reading, and that it worked.
That's why it's good to have friends with
I was like, this
brewery.
stuff just works. Like if you just ask for stuff. Like
yeah, it's why no matter what you do in life, always know somebody who has a brewery.
yeah, that's worked out pretty nicely. So
The book Slow Car Fast, I take it most of our audience will pretty much understand the gist of what it is.
Yeah.
The subtitle is The Millennial Mantra, Changing Car Culture for Good, which says a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It sort of fights the premise that millennials and young people don't like cars. It fights the premise that cars need to be faster to be better.
right.
It fights several premises, and that's just in the 2 chapters you sent me.
Yeah, I think these are all things that are happening in car culture right now, and I wanted to. I've just found it so fascinating to see all the ways that shows are changing, people's taste in cars are changing, people's taste in the way that they talk about and consume car content is changing, and I just was frankly surprised that no one had documented it yet.
I think it's been documented in bits and pieces.
Right.
I think it's, in an ADD culture, it's been documented in a highly ADD fashion. I bet you could find a trail of memes several years, long.
Yeah, but in something that you could sit down and trace
No.
a through line.
Totally.
From here's where it started to here's how it got here now.
Yeah.
I wanted to see something like that, and I thought, well, if maybe I could be the one to put it together.
Yeah, I mean, and I think your arguments are very sound. The ones in the 2 chapters I saw. I'd like to see what else there is too. But if I had to take a swing at it, I'd say it started with the 2009 Nissan GTR.
Yeah.
I know people had talked about Nürburgring times before, but the real, not just the Nürburgring time, but the Nürburgring video with the overlayed telemetry.
Right.
Then it's like cars stopped riding very, the suspensions all got really stiff.
Right.
And, everything became the dual clutch gearbox is faster and we need all-wheel drive system and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it became mandatory to have these things.
Yeah.
Make sure you had the twin scroll super turbochargers and some kind of all-wheel drive system to carry you out of corners faster,
Right.
because that was more important that was going to capture more attention than a 0 to 60, because at that point 0 to 60 was, like you said, with the GTR
go ahead.
made it almost irrelevant. Or 80
The
grand.
GTR did, and now electric cars. I mean, I just put up a video of the Lamborghini Huracan Evo, which, even with a dual clutch gearbox is still ish. Analog-ish feeling, because to go in your fastest mode you have to put it in manual. It's got a naturally aspirated engine, so it's a little more that kind of old school feel, but I think it does 2.9 or 2.8 to
Right.
0 to 60 without turbos, and I got
Is
a
that
couple
in first? Or you have to
no,
shift?
I don't know. I don't know if it does it in first. I'll tell you what, man. It's been a long time since I've been in an NA car that launched as hard as that. Credit where it's due. Lambo, those fuckers launch hard.
No, that's wild.
But whenever you talk about a 0 to 60 time, someone always comes in with the fast electric cars, and how fucking close to zero can we get? Like there are only 20 positions left on this chart between here and zero.
That was part of the idea too, is like, well, there's not that much more ground to cover here.
Yeah.
We're going to start looking for other things. And
have you driven a car that does 0 to 60 so fast that you actually find it unpleasant?
I did the Model X in ludicrous mode.
Yeah, so like a Model S or X 100D will launch fast enough that I personally find it to be an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, I could see that. And
like I get physically kind of ill.
Yeah, it's more like the jolt from the back.
Yeah,
to me,
if you do it more than a couple times, you start to get like real dizzy.
We always talk about like your stomach going up on acceleration, but like that, it really
does.
Like, oh,
I've gotten that one, and I've got where your eyeballs actually get sucked in the back of your head, which is like a fun gimmick, like once, you know, but it gets how often are you gonna launch your car?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and people don't do this regularly anyway with regular fast cars, but yeah, and
Jason
especially
Camisa
with like a grocery getter.
Yeah, Jason Camisa was here. Was it Camisa? Yeah, it was Camisa. He was here, and he was like, dude. He's like, nobody who buys a car will ever get anywhere near the magazine 0 to 60 time because you can't get that number if you have any consideration for that car as your possession.
Right. You have to know how to break the car off.
You have to get right to where it's almost broken. And sometimes it is broken to get that number.
Yeah.
And no one drives their own car like that.
Yeah.
He's like, even if you think you're launching your own car hard, you're probably a second off of what the magazines will do because there's a second of giving a fuck about your car.
Yeah, and that's
every launch.
That's what's gotten kind of funny about the Nürburgring stuff too. Is that like no one is ever, even if you wanted to do something like that, like it's 1% of the 1% of the 1% of guys who know how to push something like that, even through one corner.
You ever been out with one of them guys? We're the fucking ringmeister.
Not on the ring, but
bro, you want to have a day? Oh my god,
where were you in?
Ron, his name is Ron Simmons, I believe, Ron Simmons, and he's the owner of RSR Nürburg, which is a race car rental place at the Nürburgring. And I was sent to this guy by someone else who's a racing driver, and he must have primed him, and he was showing off, and we went out in the wet in an M3. And this guy was like trying to scare the shit out of me, and he succeeded.
Race car M3, like roll cage and everything?
Street car,
oh, wow.
Street car drift lap wet.
Jesus.
You know, and then I went out with another guy who had done 15,000 laps and broke every single rule that they told us to obey in the play. Only pass on the left, like, oh no, this rule does not apply to me. Fucking dive bomb. We were in a Volvo and this guy's dive bombing like GT3s. You know, it was one of those, I'm sure you've had those experiences where you really find out how much it's driver.
Yeah, the gap between even people who have had a ton of instruction, like the gap is just insane.
Yeah. I recommend, by the way, I'll throw this out there. RSR Nürburg, they did no financial consideration, but if you're going to the Nürburgring, you must hit up RSR Nürburg, and they have a fleet of car rental. RSR Nürburg car rental. So they have a fleet of dope shit. These are car people, and they have everything from these little hatchbacks. All the way up, you can go down to McLaren, Ferrari F12, Porsche, GTR, you know, all kind of stuff. And they have facilities at Nürburgring and Spa, and you can rent the car and drive it. The drive from Nürburgring to Spa is amazing.
I'd almost want to drive something super slow
you do.
On the ring the first time.
Fully. You want one of these, front row, Fiesta ST. That's your car.
Yeah.
I went there in this. This is a right-hand drive, but I had the left-hand drive, the Renault Megane RS 265, which was sort of like a French Focus ST. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. And I enjoyed it.
The hot hatches they get there's so much more variety.
They get great hatchbacks.
They're really cool.
There. They really do. These Renault Sport shits are dope. And you know what's really cool that no one ever talks about? I don't know if they have it at RSR. Someone else had it. Is the Suzuki Swifts. Like those were really fun too. See, they got BMW M2, Caymans, M3s. They got like race cars, like the RSR editions they do. They have like cages and stuff like that. So they're a little more.
You have to ride in those or you can drive them?
No, you drive.
That's why
You drive. I went for a ride for fun because the homie wanted to show off. But I was there I rented the Renault and I went out and I did 5 laps for, I don't remember, it was a couple €100 for the car and the laps.
Yeah, what I'm saying, the race.
Oh, if you they have to, well, they cost more, obviously, and you have to have some level of certification.
Yeah.
Not certification, but I think the first lap, an instructor goes with you. And if they think you're not like competent, they won't let you continue. But like when I went there the first time, like my boy who doesn't do a ton of track driving, but does have a lot of money, went straight for the M3 race car. And it was cool.
That's right.
So, yeah. So I do I'm sorry this is against your book, but I do recommend going to the Nürburgring and renting a race car.
No, it's great.
And slow car fast. Like, I think because you pay by the lap, you actually get more for your money if you go really slow.
And more time, too. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100 horsepower on the Nürburgring, you're like fucking caning it. It's great.
And your foot's on the floor the whole time.
Yeah.
And you put your foot on the floor in one of those other things and you be on the wall real fast.
You know what I don't recommend is practicing on video games either. I recommend just driving what
I've heard people say that before,
Yeah.
but like it seems like it would be beneficial to at least know where the track is going to go and have a sense of, because I can still I've driven it thousands of times in video games and I can picture what's coming up, but like once you get in, is that all out the window? And
If you
didn't matter?
are the kind of person that can go, all right, look, this is not a video game and I can't, even though I know where
You
it's
have to
around that
separate it.
corner, there's the physics here aren't really the same.
Yeah.
And you need to and if you can respect that, then yes, it might be a helpful tool. But if you can run a 720 Nürburgring time, and you're like slamming curbs and and you're one of those people, you are going to have the biggest crash of your life.
Yeah. So for some people, I think the guys who really, really take it seriously, and girls, excuse me, but
Good catch.
it actually does help quite a lot. And you're starting to see racers that are with real careers that came up on video games.
Oh, I'm not dismissing it entirely.
Yeah,
I
but
was strictly talking about
yeah.
not crashing at the Nürburgring. That's all.
But it's
And the rest of it,
I just find it super interesting that like not only are they've been racing their whole life and they also play video games. It's like no, they started
with video games.
Yeah, and that got them the ticket into a race car because their times were so fast,
Yeah.
and that's turning into big business now too. And
Well, it democratizes racing,
Yeah.
right? If you can't afford a race car, but you can afford an Xbox, right? That's a good way.
or even in like a tiny little simulator, like a basic
Yeah,
setup.
or whatever, a digital
Yeah.
thing instead of a physical thing. But also it democratizes it, but also it kind of like shows you that racecraft is totally like a learnable skill because nobody is born innately good at video games. So and I think racecraft in a car is a totally taught thing. I mean, there's like some people have like the fucking crazy eye, and some people have like the Senna thing, but like ultimately the physical turning of the wheels and the pedals, like that's taught. So if that gets people a ride, like that's amazing.
Have you heard of that simulator bar restaurant in Hawthorne, I think?
Base 51?
Yeah.
I have heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been there yet?
No, not to give them a shout out or anything.
Give it a shout out. It's pretty cool. They're not a sponsor.
It's
but
what's the adult video game? Was it like Gearworks or something? They're like Dave and Buster's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's Dave and Buster's for racing video games.
Yeah, they got these full motion sims, and you can have a race with your friends fully drunk.
Yeah.
And that's really what, it's one of those things you wish you could do. They got food and you can have parties there. It's pretty gangster. I admit I have not been. They've invited me several times and I haven't gone.
Yeah, I need to get out there too. I've been meaning to.
You want to
try and
go?
do an article.
We should really go.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should just get like 7 people and a keg. And and we do an endurance race, but the checkered flag comes out when the keg is done.
No, endurance race. It'd have to be like many different sprints, and like we see who can drive the best as you get progressively.
Oh yeah.
PAC.
Well, I always wanted to do that. Do you remember that old car and driver thing from back in the day where they had people doing that?
I saw they did a test.
They did one with alcohol and they did one with weed back in the day. The weed one I'd love to redo because I'm telling you I could get close.
But that was with real cars though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it was printed in Car and Driver magazine in
Yeah.
like 1980. It was
That's
like
wild.
David E. Davis and those guys, and like I think it might have been Brock Yates.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was old school, and they were fucking smoking weed and doing autocross. It's hilarious, but it's the kind of thing that you would use this for now.
Totally.
You know what I like that you brought up in the chapters of the book? What did you give me, like chapters 1 and 2? Is that pretty much what you gave me?
I think I gave you 4.
Okay. I'm just curious where it came in the whole argument. But you did bring up safari cars, which I really like.
Yeah.
Because I'm in that club now.
Yeah.
And that's like a good slow car fast. Like the off-road thing, I like that people are realizing like, okay, cars have definitely like outpaced roads. In much the same way that race cars outpaced tracks in like the 60s. But like, like we've got a lot of fucking desert and nobody cares out there.
Yeah. And I think if you put a ton of money into like a racing car that you were going to drive on the street, you can get a lot of trouble real fast. If you put that same amount of money into something that's going to go off-road, the whole world opens up to you. And like you said, I think people are starting to realize, A, that the capability and performance of cars is going to get somebody in trouble pretty soon, pretty quickly. But B, there's a whole other world out there that for a long time off-roading has been like cordoned off to hardcore off-roaders. And now
it hasn't been in my experience. Although I've met nice people doing it, it doesn't give off the impression of a real welcoming. They're very fucking hardcore, big toy haulers,
and they'll all say, "Oh, they're the best guys you've ever met in my life." And
anytime I do a video with mild off-roading, like my off-roading isn't good enough.
Right.
Like there's like no amount of hardcore you can be to be, you know what I mean, to get in that club. That's tough.
And there's an amount of smirking at like the overland thing, the growth of that community going on right now. But that whole thing, the whole premise is you can go off-road too. Like you can take your car that's not necessarily the most capable thing in the world, but you can go out and explore. And here, we'll show you how to do it. Here's the gear. Here's what you need. And that aftermarket is absolutely booming right now. The Overland Expo has like.
Can I just say real quick that you don't really need any car to go off road, because we did 1,200 miles in a Hyundai Accent and a Toyota
and it's amazing.
Previa,
it's amazing what
Model T.
It's amazing what like factory crap buckets can do.
Yeah, all you need is to not care. If you don't care about if that car being pretty,
But I think
even Overland is just off-road car camping.
That's it.
Which is awesome.
That's it. And there's some mocking of that community, but that's, like you said, that's all it is. It's just trying to get out and use your vehicle to enjoy the outdoors. And I think Safari is I don't know if it's a niche of that, but it's kind of part of that, like look west, I guess. Yeah,
well, so what I liked about the Safari thing is I really liked learning that a car with good on-road dynamics will have those dynamics mirrored on dirt if you turn it into a Safari car properly. Like my car on dirt steers like a GT3 on tarmac. It's like, oh, this is cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so I think from a vehicle dynamics perspective, like driving things on dirt and like moving around, sliding, rooster tails, like that kind of stuff is really fun. And like when we did these like All Cars Go to Heaven films, like when we made these movies, like even with these like shitbox cars or whatever, like the fire roads and stuff, like the views that we got from the whole, like, we're out there, and it didn't require some like huge rock crawler to get there. It was literally just like proactively find what a trail was and then drive up it. Like it was really just mostly just regular dirt roads. And so being able to have a sports car that has the cool style and the dynamics on dirt that you want from that kind of vehicle, I think is really, really interesting.
And I think that awareness is starting to spread a little bit. There's two people that I talked to for the book that were just super fascinating, and one of them is twin brothers who took a 74 Alpha GTV.
Oh yeah, it's called the Dropped Alpha. Yeah.
They're the raddest.
They're the guys who jumped the thing and fucking trashed it at Hoonigan,
Yeah,
right?
they smashed it up, but it's back to
let me get a picture. Oh, it back together.
Yeah.
Great. Let me get a picture of it because it is as beautifully safari as these things get.
Yeah, and I know that it looks very thrown together, but these guys are professional designers, and
It's intentionally thrown together.
Yeah,
looking?
3D templated everything before it went on and designed the own rack and all that stuff. But
what are some of the details on this? It's an Alpha GTV.
yeah,
Basically safaried out. It's got a really neat like yellow and silver paint scheme. There was a great video where they jumped it at Hoonigan a year or so ago and they fucking cracked it in half basically.
smashed the oil pan.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
So now it's got reinforced skid plates.
Nice.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
I think they did some other stuff. I can't remember exactly, but the main point was, well, first of all, it fell off of a tow truck. That was the whole reason. And they like smashed up the rear bumper. And so they were like, well, we don't want to, it would take a lot to race this thing. So let's trash it and take it off road, but do it in a cool way. And so that was kind of the impetus for that. But I talked to people who had done Safari Miatas, too, and that's becoming
it's shit like the Gambler kind of inspired.
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, having now been associated myself with LS 400s and Fox bodies and these types of vehicles, like anytime someone safaris one of these things, I get like 300 pictures. So like. There's a lot of LS 400s that people are safarying.
Yeah.
I don't know what kit they're using to do it, but apparently they make a pretty good off-road exploration
That's funny.
vehicle.
I think all the Toyotas and Lexuses do really because you're going to get the reliability.
The Land Cruiser is probably the best all-around, most durable vehicle on the planet.
I had a story go up just today that was on the rise of the Lexus GX off-roader.
I love the GX.
Dude, when they're rigged out,
You know what I
they're
really
insane.
love is the ones that Arctic Trucks does out of the Toyota.
I haven't seen
Oh
Arctic
my
Trucks.
God. Hang on. Arctic Trucks. What are they called over there? That's a Land
Prado.
Cruiser.
Prado.
Prado. Yeah, it's called a Prado, dude. These fucking things are... Dude, the first person, I'm telling you, the first person that... What's going on here? That successfully brings Arctic Trucks to America is going to make so much money. There's Hilux AT30. Here are these. It's the Fort. Isn't that it? Fortune. No.
Yeah,
Fort-
yeah.
That's it. The Land Cruiser one. Look at
So they
that,
have
bro!
fenders.
Oh my God!
Is it like
Be
thir-
still,
like
my
37s?
Yeah, probably. But this is what they drive in Iceland, dude. They're so boss. How this hasn't taken off in America yet? These are the coolest looking vehicles in the world.
That's wild.
One shop, like if RWBs and shit are selling here, why can these guys not send a couple people and some parts to LA and do like 3
This is
builds?
Iceland, you
here?
said?
Yeah, they're in Iceland.
So I was in, you're going to like this. So I was in Germany last week and for something totally unrelated, but I found this off-road shop outside of Munich and I was like, hey, if I come out, can I hang out with you guys and drive your trucks? And they said, sure. And so they have the Mercedes X-Class pickup that's almost that same style, giant wheels, huge fenders. And they would like to sell in the US. They just don't have an in, basically. Like the truck market. Like,
What's the company called?
They're called Delta 4x4.
Delta 4x4, huh? Let's see what these guys do. Is this it? Yeah, in Germany. Here's the English one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's the
That's the
X-Class.
Mercedes. Yeah. Oh, can't play the YouTube video. Hang on, wait. Company products. Where we go? What do you think?
If
we
you
are?
have their Instagram, that's a good one.
Okay, hang on. I'll find that.
But
Okay.
they had a Jimny too, which I
Oh,
also
yeah.
have to do. And it was sick.
I just went to Italy in my honeymoon, and there was a bunch of Jimneys. I was kind of stoked on them, actually. You know who really liked them? My wife. My wife loves square cars, and she was so in. Oh, here's the Jimny, and she was so into.
No, that's a
the
G.
Jimny. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It really looked like a Jimny, didn't it? Here's a
No. Okay, here. I see it. It's
yeah.
these two. Okay, so this one on the right, the old one, it's an 82. I think it was called the LJ80. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, LJ80, yeah.
Okay, so that was the founder's car. He's 70 now. His name's Joseph. Super nice guy. But he raced it in Paris to Dakar
Oh, cool.
and finished. They did however many 1,000 miles in that crazy thing. It's got a 4-speed, and then they did the new Jimny did it up to decals and everything to do
match.
exactly like it.
It's rad.
And we took them both out like in farmland and tore up a bunch of trails.
Oh,
And it was
how
super
fun is that?
It was super fun. And that's still a race car. So it's still, I got in it. I was driving the new one for a while, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I, drive the old one? He's like, yeah, sure. Throws me the keys. And I started to go, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot this is a race car. And it was, yeah, it was a blast, man.
And then here's their new shit. It's
Yeah.
pretty dope. I like it. I like things flying through the air.
I'll be writing
Fan
about
of
this
that. Cool.
for Auto Week in a couple of weeks.
Oh, did you get a little gig with them?
Yeah, they're doing an episode of the book also.
Oh, cool.
That should be out, if not today, then very soon.
Sweet.
And then we'll also work on that.
Cool. The Safari thing. Blah, 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 blah. Have you seen what's like the most absurd vehicle that you've seen that shouldn't be
Safari?
that was out there?
I don't know. I have to think about it. I think the Crown Vics are really funny.
They're funny. I saw someone do a Camaro that I like an F body Camaro, and the look is just so bad. It's
just
like
not
this
right.
streamlined thing. It was terrible.
It's like the SOK on donks.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Dude, donks are my favorite.
They're the best.
I
man.
love seeing donks so much.
We're in this like really great like post irony stage where like we people were doing things to be funny, like they're driving old Volvos or whatever to be funny, and now it's kind of like, oh,
that's actually
really
cool.
like this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? It's sad to bring it up, but you made a really prescient point about Davy Johnson. When you were like the brown diesel wagon manual thing, like Davey started that. I was like, shit, that's so true. And that was
I think he did. Johnny Lieberman disputed it lightly.
Okay.
But
Well, he started that group.
But then ended up like, he said like, not exactly, but like let him have it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it really, but it was, if he wasn't the first, it was definitely spread by him. Because I sat, like we're sitting here, it was me and Mike Spinelli forever. And Davey was like hovering right here always. And it was always about fucking brown diesel wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about him?
But it was just like, at first it was like a funny thing to want a brown diesel wagon because like for the longest time they weren't wantable.
Yeah.
And then it was like, look at this funny quirky thing that's like an oddity, and then you started to talk about it more, hear about it more, and all of a sudden it was like, no, we actually really want.
Yeah, and now if you want one of those from Mercedes or BMW, it's like $70,000. Here, wait. So here's a thread on Reddit that I just Googled. Where did it come from?
They trace
Where
it
did
back.
the brown diesel
There you go.
come
See,
from?
just this in book form, I would buy that.
Yeah. You could make... I'm going to defend that it was Davey.
I mean, he was the guy that put it out there and started to
For sure.
push it, and
I was literally sitting there. I was sitting across from Mike Spinelli the entire fucking time. The other thing I like about safari cars in general is not is because I think it's fair to say that our urban infrastructure is fucking crumbling. Roads do not get taken care of the way they should. Part of the reason people are going to crossovers as opposed to sedans and stuff is the hatchback loading in. The Americans say they don't like hatchbacks, but they do. They just call them crossovers.
Yeah.
They just want them with all-wheel drive.
well, I keep hearing we have an aging population too, and it's easier to get in and out.
That's true. I think that's true for my parents, for sure.
Yeah.
But also, I think like a lot of our cities feel like kind of like off-roading. Like when I go visit my parents in Connecticut, like they live in Greenwich. It's like a nice area. The fucking roads they bend rims on their SUVs because the potholes are so bad. Like, so for me, having a vintage sports car, which is a small thing, almost no car could be sold today that's the size of my 1987 911.
Yeah.
They just, like even the fucking smart car, I think is bigger than my 1987
I mean, look at the size of
911.
the two Jimneys. They look like a Hummer compared to it.
Yeah, and so, compared to that old Samurai or whatever that first gen thing was. So like having that kind of ability to take bumps combined with the small size, to me, is like super, 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 super appealing.
It's funny because we could just fix the goddamn infrastructure, but
We also don't need self-driving cars. We could just teach people to fucking give a shit about driving like they do in other countries. Like, it annoys me that when people talk about how a self-driving car is so much better than the average driver. It's like, okay, it's better than the average driver. What about peak driver? What about a well-trained driver?
You know, I wouldn't even give him that. I think that's probably someone who hasn't read a whole lot. Except
I don't. First of all, I don't even think that statement is true.
Yeah.
But I think if the statement were true, its merits are flawed to begin with.
It's not going to matter because we're not going to get those for really, really long. I don't think in our lifetime.
Yeah,
fully self-driving. I don't think
so either.
And the way you can tell is at CES this year, which has become a de facto auto show. 3 years ago, everyone was saying level 4 is here by this year, level 5 is here by this year. And this year, what everybody started saying was we're focusing on level 2 plus.
When they pivoted to level 2 plus,
Yeah.
I had a real... I wasn't there. I just read it on Twitter, but I had a chuckle.
Yeah. And
That's called a remanaging of our expectations.
There was no explanation. There was no transition. It was just like, we're so focused on level 2 plus. Book it. And we were like, wait, what is that? Like no one's ever talked about this before, but they must have all talked about it together because they all started saying it simultaneously.
Because here's why. Because I think a lot of them use NVIDIA, and there was an NVIDIA press release.
I think that is probably has a lot to do with it, but they're all starting to back off. I think they all realized that they overshot quite a bit and they overspent most importantly, and they're kind of going, okay, what's a good way to scale back and still move things forward? And it's perfect level 2 rather than, because 2 to 3 is the big switch. And they're all realizing, okay, 3 is going to take a really, really long time.
3 is
to
basically where your hands no longer have to be on the
wheel. The driver intervenes when necessary, but that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're just riding. And that's not going to be possible for a very long time. So what's more feasible is we just continue to upgrade the systems that we do have in things like autopilot or Super Cruise, things like that. Systems that are very good and are very helpful, driver assistance systems, but not self-driving.
What me and Alex Roy want to see happen is we want to see parallel autonomy. Basically we want to see a car that you drive yourself, but that is virtually uncrashable. Mm-hmm. That's what we want. Yeah. Not I want to fucking take a nap in traffic. I want to drive. But like, if the shit hits the fan and you really do know better than me what's going to happen, make me not crash.
Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Because for every story you hear about one of these systems saving someone from crashing, you hear another one where it almost steers into oncoming traffic or it almost runs into a jury barrier. I've personally experienced that. And I know these things evolve fast, but like...
They can't read construction zones. They don't know what to do.
Bro, and we're talking about a fucking liability nightmare.
Yeah.
No company would insure these cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there is some really interesting like driver evasion or collision evasion stuff going on where the reason I was in Germany last week was ZF or ZF as they call it brought us out to show like all their new technology and stuff, and they have developed all these.
What does a ZF press launch look like?
It was great.
Really?
It was
do they just bring
yeah.
like 1 million cars that have ZF gearboxes in them, or what do you do?
So we talked for like 10 minutes about the gearbox.
Really?
It's
for those who don't know,
else.
ZF is a company from Germany that makes transmissions, that licenses transmission designs to other people, including Chrysler, and that
so the big ones are BMW, Land Rover, Chrysler,
Jaguar,
JLR,
Audi,
Volkswagen,
Audi, Porsche use them.
Yeah, they also make a ton of other stuff. So a lot of the systems, they make sensors, cameras, LiDAR, and then all kinds of steering, braking, automated driving systems too. A lot of the Super Cruise stuff is ZF.
Oh, neat. I didn't know that.
They also make, this is interesting too, the rear steer system in basically every car that has it.
Oh.
Lamborghini, Ferrari, Audi,
Porsche,
the Panamera.
I just
and
drove
the
Huracan Evo has the rear steer.
It's all the exact same system.
Very neat.
Which is funny because they'd never offer that up to you, but
no. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, anyone who's around cars long enough starts to learn that there's like 6 suppliers.
Right.
If it's not ZF, it's Bosch or it's Magneti Marelli, or you know what I mean. There's like 6 people. They make everything.
Yeah. So also,
how do you arrange these parts?
Yeah. One of the other things they had us test was a previous gen Type R because we were out there and not in the U.S. where we don't get it. But they put the rear steer system in that because they're redeveloping it for like hot hatch sizes.
Oh, in the shorter, the weird looking Type R.
Yeah.
Oh, how was that?
It was a blast. It was awesome.
How did the rear steer affect it?
I was expecting it to like wildly swing you out, and it's just super stable and smooth.
Yeah.
All it is, they had a slalom course, and all it is you are suddenly able to carry a lot more speed, and you're like, "Wow, I'm a great driver. I improved so much." And it's
that's
like,
what they
no,
do in the
they just
Porsches.
had it off and then they turned it on.
Yeah, the Porsches and the Lamborghinis. I mean, it's just they really hide it. It just makes that car much calmer when you're going fast and much more nimble when you're going slow. And they fucking hide it really well.
Yeah.
But when I made I flipped a little bitch on the Angeles Forest in a Huracan of all things, and you go, whoa, hey, where did you come from? Turning radius, hello,
Wow.
hello, turning radius.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
I didn't whip it around or anything, but
It was very nice. Well, I have to make U-turns for photos sometimes.
that's true. So
Yeah.
So one of the other things they had us do was a ride along in cars where the driver would have his hands off the wheel and they would have a blow up object in front of it, and we were going
Oh yeah,
50 kilometers. So what's it
like
like
an
35?
inflatable bowling pin kind of thing.
No, it's shaped like a little kid actually. And we drove actually, and they would say don't brake.
Just drive at the child.
Yeah, just go. And but you had to do an input, and then when you did an input, the wheel would like recognize. First of all, it recognized the object, and then second of all, it recognized that you were trying to turn, and then it would like quickly
do it for you?
Yeah, it would kind of not take over, but it would give you a lot of extra boost.
Huh.
And then other systems where
What did you like try to run over the kid?
No, I
Can you? Yeah, I want to say.
No, we asked him like, what will happen? He goes, I was like, what will happen if I don't turn? He's like, you'll run the kid over.
So you do have to make some kind of an effort. Okay,
But there were other systems that these things are getting really good. Like they'll recognize things and brake really, really well with plenty of space and can turn you out of the way and do all kinds of things. But that's level 2+. That's not getting to a place where you can take a nap in your car and get to work when you wake up.
For sure, dude. We're so far away from that. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
People are fucking insane. People think that kind of stuff.
Dude, you can tell because all of a sudden Waymo hasn't started putting out as many announcements as they were saying. Uber has kind of backed off of that stuff, and GM. I think it was GM that was kind of jumping around for who they're partnering with.
I saw this very silly demonstration that was like the future of package delivery. And it was an automated van that had this little robot that got out of the back of it and like dunk, 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 carried your package up.
Yeah.
And like in the demo, I saw it in person. I saw it. In the demo, the quote automated van didn't move. It was parked. And the automated robot, package delivery robot, was literally being RC controlled from a dude with an RC controller from like 6 feet away. It's like, you have built the very easiest part of this thing. A van that holds an RC robot. Like, brah fucking vo.
You got a long way to go.
Yeah, dude.
But the fleet delivery and services like that may be a little bit closer.
Could be. Still needs a human to do it.
Well, I think you'll have to have a person riding along and like kind of monitoring. But especially if there's a prearranged grid where the thing can go along and it goes the same route and it recognizes where it's supposed to go and what it's supposed to do. It doesn't have to make snap decisions. But immediately there's a market for it. First of all, where like with autonomous cars, we don't know. If people are going to rush out and pay however much money for that privilege. But for fleet services, they'll do it in a heartbeat because it'll save money in whatever business case they make. Like if you can show a UPS that you're going to save them $1,000 a day per vehicle, they'll give you all the money 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the business case,
like that
the business case for the delivery stuff is going to make that technology come a lot quicker than the consumer stuff.
I agree, because they'll fund it.
Yeah.
I think if they did like, they have those like road trains in Australia. You ever see that?
The road train.
Yeah, and they drive across the outback with like very powerful semis that pull like 10 like or more. Like look at this shit. Like so I was always thinking that like if you had something like this. But if this thing pulled half as many of these, but it had, and if it was one driver controlling a quote train of like follower trucks. You know what I mean? Because it does need some kind of minder.
That seems impossible to control.
I think they literally I think they assemble them specifically to drive across the outback.
Where there's no
so
one
they're
else,
literally
no one else on
just
the road.
going, like straight. And I think that one is particularly long. I think most of them are like 4, 5, 6 cars, and that one
I'm pretty
that
sure
one was like 20. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure we have regulations on it. But if not for that, I don't see any reason why you couldn't.
But like you could train these things up one guy leads, a few of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's kind of the idea behind platooning too. Have you seen that stuff?
No, what's platooning?
Platooning is when you take 3 or more full-size semi-trucks, and the first one has a driver, and the ones behind it do not, and they're tethered.
That's what
together.
I meant. Oh, I didn't know the term, but that's literally
No, but these are actually hitched.
Oh, they're physically hitched. Like
No, the ones you're talking about.
No. In the ones I was talking about, yes, it's one truck pulling a bunch of trailers like a train.
Yeah.
In this one, as what I was trying to do was make a leap to what you're talking about right
Got
here.
it.
I just didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, this is one driven truck leading 3 drone trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much a thing. It's very
That's
much
what
a
I'm
thing.
talking about. Oh, look,
Volvo's pretty
so
advanced
Canada's
on it.
doing it. It looks like. How old is this
Yeah, I don't know.
article? 2019.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of testing going on. There was some in the U.S. I think you can do it in Nevada and some other states, but
Of course you can. States
Yeah,
with nothing
you
to hit
do.
and lots of
you
straight.
can do whatever you want out there.
Neat. Well, that's good. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah.
That seems like it would work.
We'll see. I think Daimler backed off of it, so we'll see. This the whole autonomous stuff is like you go forward a little bit, you go way back, and then you go forward a little bit more.
Turns out it's hard.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in the slow car fast world outside of the chapters I read? What are some of the other things we need to know?
A lot.
Off-roading
I think,
is great.
Off-roading is rad, first and foremost. I think the way that car shows are changing and evolving to meet more people and welcome more people is one of the big talking points right now.
Just in terms of like the frequency and location of them, or
No, the
by
way that
doing
they-
specific things.
The events themselves, I think.
Like, wow.
Well, like Grid Life. I know you.
Grid Life's
have had a
the
lot
shit.
of experience.
Hell yeah, Grid Life rules.
I think Grid Life, Radwood, just stuff like that, where there's more to do than the cars.
Yeah, well, Grid Life, I think, was a really good idea. I don't know if it came before Forza Horizon, because
Yeah.
like what I use is the Horizon Festival as the example. But it's called the Grid Life Alpine Horizon Festival. Grid Life is a motorsports and music festival. I've been a bunch of times. I've emceed it and done a bunch of stuff with them, and it's been great. So they have track activities, HPDE. They have time attack. They have drifting, and then they have a music festival at night. And because of that, you can see in the background of this scrolly video here, there's spectators, there's camping, there's partying, there's food and vendors and music, and let's be honest, people are getting fucked up.
Yeah, you can go just to party.
Most of the people go just to party.
Yeah.
And so I think, yes, and I imagine they got to get some people from that crowd who go, man, that race car shit looks pretty cool. We should check that out.
And I would put Luft in that group a little bit. It's not exactly the same, but just in the way that it's kind of changed what a car show looks like and feels like, and who is showing up, I think has been a really important shift in the last
Younger
10
people,
years.
you mean?
Yeah, younger people, but all kinds of people, different backgrounds, men and women. Just a more welcoming experience where you don't have to know every little detail and prove it to the guy that you're talking to. Like, you can just go and enjoy things. And we just had Goodwood this weekend. And I think was maybe one of the spearheads of all this. Like, people looked at that and said, well, we can do something that's like big and involves a whole bunch of different cool things and go from there.
The sort of fleetingness of like car shows. It's like they always seem like they're like about to get shut down.
Yeah.
It's like don't ruin it, and like it's like such a fine line between like the Instagramness of it all and the desire to like look at this amazing thing I saw, but like don't fucking ruin it. You know what I mean? Like I went to a really cool car show like last weekend, and like I put up a couple pictures from there, and the couple people commented like, "Yo, there's like a no social media," and I like instantly I felt guilty. I was like, I'm not going to be the guy. I deleted my fucking post.
But even if it does, there's as we're in Southern California, so it's maybe an anomaly. But there's 30 other places you could go to in the next weekend.
I know.
And those people will just find another place to go.
I felt bad. I'm sensitive to it because Trancas. Did you ever go to the Trancas?
I never went, but I followed it.
So Trancas was like 4 months of the best car show ever,
Yeah.
and then it was gone. And so you don't want to be the guy who fucks that one up.
Was that the Little Beach one that you posted?
Yeah,
the
it was
other
a
day?
Little Beach one.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. And
I'll tell you where it's at, but I'm not going to post any more
know.
pictures.
Yeah.
You know where it's at if you're from here and you figured it out. But I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a rule, and I will follow it in the future.
But it's like at least people are enjoying it and doing it and getting out there.
Yeah, and I think
encouraging others to come out and join them.
Yes, and I think that modern cars being as digitized as they are, I think the hyper analogness of some of the special stuff, whether it's the Safari cars or the Singers or Ferrari F40s and Lamborghini Countaches,
Even like Defenders or something.
Defenders or the original Supras, the I want a drivable car that still feels really analog but isn't as annoying as something from the 60s, I think that's where a lot of the 80s and 90s stuff really has appeal. You can daily drive a car from the 90s. It's like not that much of a personal sacrifice, so I think that as the cars get digital even more from now, a lot of people will focus on the most modern analog cars, the end of that run, as things that they can hold on to and use. I think that's important.
It'll be interesting to see as they do get more digitized, what things are still special, even though they are more digitized. Like what makes a car special then if they all have, a similar powertrain and similar performance, and how much specialness is left.
Well, if you look at Porsche as an example, the air-cooled car started getting really special when they started building SUVs and stuff, and they no longer became a pure sports car company. To me, the announcing of the Lamborghini Urus for me was like, I better get a fucking old Lambo right now. Like now is the time to get a quote real one. If Ferrari, what was the name of that crossover they just fucking announced? I think it's called Persang, actually.
I haven't seen that.
Sangua Pura Ferrari crossover. It was just announced. Puro Sangue, which is just terrible. If it looks like this, that couldn't be more.
Okay, so that's an illustration. It's not from Ferrari. But.
Yeah, I don't want to single out whoever made this illustration, but A, it's not real, and B, it looks horrible.
How did they get around the thing where they said we'll never build an SUV?
You can always say something like that and change your mind later. It's why whenever someone says, let's fucking change the cafe regulations, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, it's whatever by 2050. It's like, homie, in 18 months, they'll be changed again. Everybody will forget.
Yeah. I wonder if the crossover thing is just like the standard moving forward. A lot of analysts say that it is, but there's also evidence that this stuff changes all the time, and some unforeseen circumstance 10 years from now could absolutely send it back. Or maybe this is just how it is.
Well, for me, the crossover thing stems from what I said before about the roads getting shittier.
Yeah.
And even a crossover handles better than most sedans from the 90s.
Yeah,
right?
you're not giving up as much.
You're not giving up as much. The engines are more efficient, so your fuel economy is acceptable now for a lot of them. But also, if a lot of, I don't know about you, but a lot of the cars that I drive, the door lines, the shoulder lines are getting higher.
Yeah.
The windows are getting more and more cramped.
They're getting bigger anyway.
Exactly. And if you drive a car from the 90s, it has a similar greenhouse inside to a crossover because the crossovers start higher, so they just make the glass bigger. So I think maybe part of it is, you know, the getting in and out of it as well, but also the visibility. You know, I've used the term, the phrase that certain cars feel like driving hoodies so many times that it's like cliche at this point.
I haven't heard you say that. That's a good one.
I say it in a lot. I've called it a lot of cars hoodie.
Yeah, at a show last weekend, somebody just brought like an 84 Civic out.
Yeah.
It was like nice looking. And
The pillars are like this.
oh my God, dude.
You could take a chisel and go dink and just like pop the
I
roof off.
swear the interior looked like a minivan. The windows were enormous. They're so huge. The called DLO, the daylight opening, was massive.
You're talking about the square one, right? The
Yeah,
square
yeah.
hatchback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
huge windows.
It's unbelievable. And I was like, have I just not seen one of these in a while? Or I'm just so used to modern cars where windows are so squinty and the pillars are so thick.
Yeah.
And this was just like it was like rail thin all the way around. It was incredible.
Yeah, I just bought a '91 Mitsubishi Delica, and I'm
From Sean, right?
yeah, the paperwork's finally
Yeah,
gone through on it.
they live right by us.
It's hard to deal with these fucking the importing stuff sometimes, but yeah, you know, it's got this ridiculous visibility, 360 degrees. Like you just can't get that even from a minivan anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe from like a Transit or something, but it's tough.
No, even
I like that. I love the
I
visibility.
road tripped to Transit and it was great, but
Yeah.
but it's not like that huge greenhouse.
Yeah. Who do you think is doing slow car fast really right now?
The dropped alpha guys are pretty good.
No, I mean for like, is any manufacturer getting it right? I mean, Ford killed the Fiesta ST in America, although I hear the European one's pretty good still, but
So I think probably the best examples are the Focus RS, the Veloster N, and the
Veloster N.
Type R.
The Veloster N is a really good value.
That's what I've heard.
It's a really fun car, and it's actually
It's like $6,000 less than a Type R.
it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And the Type R has better seats, and it's probably a little faster, I think. But the Veloster N was very nice and doesn't have any of the Type R snobbery associated with it. Yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah, so what's funny is in Europe, things like that are everywhere. But I think we really only have like those three. But it also depends on kind of your definition of slow car fast. I think if manufacturers take a slow model and make a fast version of it, that's one. And if you buy your own slow car, trick it out and go drive the crap out of it, like that counts too. And I think there's a lot of fun examples of that going on too.
Oh, dude, I've had some of the most fun I've ever had in videos in, you know, the Honda N600 with a motorcycle engine in it.
Yeah.
You know, I drove a dude's Yaris once that had a Corolla motor swap. He's like, I went from a 1.6 to a 1.8.
The Yaris in other global markets, there are insane versions of that car, like the GRMN, whatever Toyota's Gazoo division
the
is.
Gazoo Racing
There are
one.
some insane.
Wait, I wonder if I
variants.
have. Oh, here it was. This is the one. This is the one I drove. Hang on, I'll get the picture of it. Yeah, this is it. And this thing mobbed. It was really fucking fast. It was super, super
Did
fun
they
to
swap
drive.
it or was it?
Yeah, it had like a bigger Toyota engine,
Okay.
a 6-speed, and a limited slip diff, and it weighed like 2,200 pounds.
See, that's all you need.
Like this shit right here, like that joint is. These are great. These are great fun. This one I drove. This was a Mazda 2 that had shocks and good tires on it, and it was hilarious to drive.
The Mazda 2 was great.
Mazda 2 was
That was
great.
an awesome car.
I think they're doing it nicely. E30s are really where it's at. They're expensive now, though, huh? Shit happened
Yeah,
on
for
that
sure. I just saw Brendan McAleer wrote a really cool article on the E30 like huge meetup on the East Coast every year, and it was cool. He mentioned that like more than half of the owners were young people. It was not like old or older.
There's a
people
good
who-
blend of E30 drivers.
Yeah,
I'm tempted to build one. I don't want to build anything.
but you're doing builds.
I thought I am. I'm tempted to pay someone else to build one. I want like an M3 power.
It's like the prototype chassis and feel
Yeah.
and everything.
They're so like I drove a shitty one for a TV show and it was awesome. Like it was really nice and it was
awesome.
a fucking shit pile one. It was
Yeah.
great. I've raced them. I raced one in the VIR 24 hours VIR and it was fun as shit to race too. And I really enjoyed it. It's like
awesome.
great, easy dynamics and took an absolute beating.
Yeah.
We treated that car. Speaking of which, the car I drove in the TV show and the car I raced the 24 are the same fucking car. I went off-roading with it in the TV show and then raced in a 24-hour race 6 months later, and it was the same car.
So that thing's funny because that was its reputation for a long time. Like there were track rats that you could pick up cheap and then beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And they'd be fine. You could do whatever you wanted to them. And then kind of the switch flipped, and now people will pay a lot of money for pristine ones and garage them or whatever. But it's just funny how that thing comes full circle. But
I was trying to find a picture of the race car from the fucking show because it got so fucked during the race. And it was a great picture of it completely fucked up at the end, but I can't find it now, unfortunately.
one of the chapters makes the case that the E30 M3 is like the patron saint of slow car fast. Like that's
I completely agree.
Yeah. And it was really fun. I dug
You
up
could say maybe the Golf GTI if you wanted to
Oh,
go
yeah.
further back than that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Mini Cooper. If you
Yeah.
really wanted to go back to the 60s. But the in terms of like racing, totally.
Yeah, and for how far it's come and where it is now.
Yeah.
I think too. But I dug up some old facts about how it came together, and the original Quattro kind of spurred it on, and Mercedes came out with the 190e. But it was funny. I talked to the Belgian race car driver who won its first DTM season, and I asked him, "Have you driven one lately?" And he goes, "Oh, I drove them every day for a year, and I raced the hell out of them." He goes, "And if I could drive one now, it would be a dream, but they're way out of my league."
Really? Oh no, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's what Valentino says about the Countachs too.
Yeah,
He said they used to be work, and now it's a great day if I get to drive one. I like the E30 M3 a lot, but I don't like it. I've driven it a couple times, and I've driven one on a very tight racetrack, and I drove one on Angeles Crest. And on the tight racetrack, I was like, this thing sucks balls. There's no torque. It doesn't pull out of a corner for nothing. And on Angeles Crest, which was all third and fourth gear, I was like, oh, I get it.
There you go.
That's what slow car fast means there to me. It's like, this shit ain't fun unless you're going real fast. Focus RS, same thing.
Yeah.
Focus RS is terrible when you're going slow and incredible when you're right on the edge of death.
yeah, and for like if you are a fan of racing now, the cars look really, really under control, like
Yeah.
sports car or open wheel or whatever. But if you go back and watch the old DTMs or even F1 of that era, they're twitchy, they're sliding around, they're all over the place.
Let's find. I mean, I gotta get 1980s. The 1980s DTM, because you get a picture of like a car that's like 4 feet in the air.
Yeah, they would just jump over the curbs.
I'm just finding. You just find if you just Google 1980s DTM, you just find. I mean, every picture is the best picture ever.
So just in photos, you can see like the fury that's like being contained, like the body
Yeah.
of that car is trying to contain like all the ability under
Here's
there.
your E30 M3 go diving into the carousel.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it twisting and
I mean, the best is just video, 2 wheels in the air, God, the 190E looks fucking killer as a
Yeah,
race
it's so
car,
good.
doesn't it?
That's so good.
Nothing wrong with that. That looks good.
I think that's been a huge part of like this Group E resurgence too, and the slow car fast movement is like as it's become easier to share photos like this, which were just in car magazines for the longest time. Like
Yeah.
it's become so easy to find stuff like this. Go on YouTube and you can watch 10-minute compilations of just DTM cars jumping curbs.
Yeah.
Like the availability and the accessibility that the internet has provided has led to more appreciation of this kind of stuff too. It's not just that we grew up with it and now we're older and we have money. It's also
sites like Jalopnik and others have led car enthusiasts to appreciate cars for either ironic reasons or for quirky reasons or whatever. I mean, a car that was, the car has the circle, right? It's got a circle of, okay, it's new cool, then it becomes secondhand enthusiast depreciated cool, and then it's kind of becomes not cool. Then it circles into ironic cool before becoming actually cool again 30 years later. So I think a lot of cars, the key is you grab them at the beginning of ironic cool, start the wave of ironic cool, and then you're a leader at the edge of when they come back to real cool. That's what I did with Fox bodies. Yeah. Man, what else? What else we got? Give us, if you got any questions for us on this live program, get them in now because we're going to close that down in a minute. When and where is the book available? How about that?
You can pre-order
the book.
You can pre-order the book now. CarraraBooks.com is the website.
Is there a you got? Oh, there it is. Here's their Instagram.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So there's
there
the link.
it is.
There's the
Found
pre-order.
it. Pre-order link. CarraraBooks.com.
So we're gonna launch as ebook only. We'll see how much demand there is, and I'll print up some if people want that. But the ebook will be out August 19th.
I'm chuckling because the chapters you sent me, I literally printed them, and I paper clipped them together, and I read 440 pages printed together.
Hey, whatever works. If
I gotta read paper.
If people would rather have it that way, let me know, and we'll do it that way.
I mean, look, even if you sold it as a printable ebook, I'll fucking get that shit. I'm about it. I liked what I read. It was cool, man. I feel your argument. I am on board with it. I mean, I got a Safari car, and I got an old, slow by modern standards, but hyper analog Italian car to go with it.
Yeah.
So I feel you. And then you've also got, I also have to dive into the ring for my scooter. My Yamaha 125 scooter that I rode here and that I ride everywhere is the fucking shit. And you know what I mean? It goes exactly the right speed for LA to like smoke through traffic. It's this. I'm so diehard scooters, but I may upgrade my scooter to a slightly faster slow scooter. I'm getting the Vespa GTS 300 as a demo.
Dang.
It goes 100 miles an hour.
Jesus.
It's a Vespa.
Why?
Like why? I don't know. Actually, I think I'll tell you why. I think I can guess why. I think it's meant for fat guys like me instead of for little Italian guys like the regular Vespas are meant for. Because if I get on a regular Vespa with my girl on the back, we like, it's like, my girl's petite. Like we max out the rear shocks because I'm fucking fat. But the 300 is physically a slightly bigger frame. It's meant to hold more weight.
Okay.
Scooters, bro. I recommend them.
I know it.
What do we got in Super Chat? Oh, just the one. Oh, two. There we go. Justin Hobbs wants to know, what makes a car a Safari? If I raise my Subaru STI up and put dirt tires on it, it's a rally car. So what makes it a Safari? You want to have a go at that?
Yeah, I think the STI is kind of meant for that. I think Safari is something that's not necessarily meant for that kind of stuff. And then you take the measures to like equip it for it. But STI, like their origins are in dirt. It's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, I think that the Subaru's association with competition rally is so strong that, yeah, the terms are a little conflated. To me, the difference really between Safari and rally is Safari is recreation and rally is racing. That's really how I see it. And I think the word Safari, I don't think we need to like hang on it specifically. Like, I think you could make an STI into a Safari car, and I think you could turn a 911 into a rally car. I think you don't make those associations inherently, but I think you could have either from either.
But the original idea came from those early like Safari 959s that were rally cars.
I think even before that, because my car is modeled after the 911 SCRS, which is from before the 959. And the SCRS, like here's the Rothmans, which is I think one of the best known ones. This is when Porsche went rallying, and I can't remember the exact class, but pre 959. So this one's got a little more tarmac set up.
So when it started, there was no difference. It was Safari cars were racing.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess. Yeah, if the Safari cars were
the famous ones from Dakar, like those were
those were race cars fully race cars. But I think to me, It's fun versus racing is the difference. Oh, here, in case you didn't think that. Oh, wait, what happened to that image? Where'd it go? Did I just get like no thank you'd? Oh, there we go. In case you don't think those things can hit the dirt.
So sweet.
There's a guy fucking mobbing one. That guy doesn't
Like,
give
what
a
corner?
fuck. I like that very much. But yeah,
That's a
that's
straight line around that corner.
that's where I see the line. It's fun versus competition. But thank you, Justin. And Josh says, do you think a second gen Honda Fit is a good slow car fast?
Fits are great, man, because you can get them with a stick, and it doesn't take too much effort to make them a lot faster, real fast.
I agree with you on those counts, and I have to plug. Is this really their website? This can't be their fucking website. I want to plug them. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's Jack's article that I'll pull up. These guys, TCS, who I've raced against. If you're into fits, not in California, but anywhere else, these guys take the Acura TSX powertrain and plop it into a fit, and for not a lot of money, and I mean a pretty reasonable amount of money, you can have a car that is so fast and so fun. And these guys really know how to set these things up. They fucking mob. This car is basically a totally stock engine in a totally stock car, except for like shocks and a cage and good tires. And they finished 7th overall for the season in AER. And they build street cars. And they've tried to. These guys have tried so many times to sell me a street car. They're like, dude, we'll give you like a brand new looking Fit with a K swap in it for like, and a limited slip diff for like 15 G's, like cheap. Like, and so like, yes, Fits are awesome. I really recommend.
Fits are great.
Lastly, Full Metal Captain says, I bought a Focus RS as my first
That's
car.
a nice first car.
Wow. Is there anything I should do to take it autocrossing?
Not my realm.
Yeah, I mean, short answer, no. I mean, the short answer is autocross is a pretty low stress thing. You should take a tire pressure gauge and make sure that your tire pressures are set to where you'd like them. You should ask some of the people who look really good and drive cars that look kind of like yours where they like to set their tire pressures. You should also maybe bring a little portable compressor if you have to drop your pressures down. If you want to fill them back up, that may help.
I would say just go for it and see what you don't like.
Yeah, you definitely want to drive it first and make changes
That's a lot
after.
That's
a lot of car.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of car for an autocross course.
It is a lot of car.
That's more like it's for bigger racetracks, and you might overwhelm the autocross course real fast.
It is, but I know people who have autocrossed them, and
I'm sure it'll be a
apparently
blast.
It's probably fun.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think you should just go out there and make sure your tires are in good shape. Make sure the car is as it should be. It's safe and whatever. Nothing's like fucked with it, and then autocross it. And you go, man, I really wish it did this differently. And chances are there is an adjustment you could make to have it do that.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Oh, we have another one at the very end. Steve X Jet says, would a Land Cruiser properly finish out my garage? I have a Mark 7 Volkswagen GTI and a 997 Carrera S. Fuck yeah, it would.
Hell yeah. It depends on, well, it doesn't depend. I would just be curious which series you'd be looking for.
If you're still there, go into the free comments and tell us which one you would put, which generation of Land Cruiser, because that's a big word.
There's a lot of really
Cruiser.
cool stuff. If you go back for like the into the 80 series, like Grand Wagoneers would be sweet too. Like there's a lot of cool stuff you can get.
Sorry. Grand Wagoneers are such shit piles. I know they look cool, but they're junk, man. They're terrible.
200. Okay, so
Let's see. I mean, look, I am a big Land Cruiser fan. I also think, as much as I am not a fan of them, I think a Defender probably. What's an L200 Land Cruiser? He says, is that what generation?
I
is that?
believe it's the most recent.
Oh, it is. The new one is. Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one is great. I have a video where I off-roaded the LX 570, which is the uglified.
I was going to say, if you really want to turn heads, get an LX and do whatever you were going to do to Land Cruiser because the parts are all exactly the same.
The LX is kind of cool and also kind of ugly. The new one with the weird grill.
Yeah.
One grill back was better.
Yeah, so just pull off the grill and put a steel bumper on the front.
True.
And go
There
wild.
you go.
Go
I went
nuts.
to Zion National Park with the new LX press car with my girl. We went hiking.
Sweet.
And nobody gave a shit about this thing, but it was a beautiful car. And I mean, it really drove great. It was so comfortable. It was a perfect vacation vehicle.
Yeah.
Went off-roading in it. It's super fun. a bus full of Japanese tourists unloaded at the bottom of Zion Canyon. And these middle-aged Japanese dudes lost their mind seeing this fat, bald American driving this brand new, this is a Lexus and Land Cruiser, and like fucking looking over every inch of it. I brought out the window sticker to show them, 92,000, and they were really looking over everything. They were so excited to see it. They were so proud of it. As Japanese, I don't think they worked for Toyota. As Japanese people, they were so proud.
And that one especially because it's built in Japan.
Yeah,
and a lot of the others aren't.
Yeah, and Land Cruisers. I learned. I don't know if you did. You ever go on a Land Cruiser press launch?
No.
I went on the last one. The Land Cruiser is built. Most vehicles, even Toyotas, are built with a 10-year service life in mind. Land Cruisers are built with a 25-year service life in mind. So everything is more durable.
So that one was 92.
Yeah, it was fully loaded.
Probably no options, no nothing.
No. It was
But I mean, you get everything right in the base because the Land Cruiser, I think, base is 82. No
the
options.
Lexus was not much more.
Everything's included. There's no. You don't have to add. For heated cooled seats, you don't have to add blah blah blah. Like it's all right there. You don't add anything.
No,
so
this
it's
was
like, oh, that's a lot for a big Toyota SUV. Well, yeah, but it's like every single one is the best model.
Totally.
So LX is.
I don't think
I would imagine similar.
It is very similar. I think it was 86 base, 92 is tested, and it had the crazy stereo.
Yeah.
The Mark Levinson or whatever crazy stereo.
So that's $5,000.
Yeah, and it had the biggest rims that you could get. And it had something else, but it was not a lot of options. No, you're right. Buy the book. Where did I lose it? Oh fuck! Oh, there it is. Buy the book, Slow Car Fast, at pre-order. If you go to Ryan's Instagram, which is here, Zoomy575M on Instagram, you can find the link right there.
And come out to the reading. It's going to be super fun.
When is that? Sunday, July 28th.
July 28th.
3 to 6.
It's at Liberation Brewing in North Long Beach. It's going to be super fun. It's a great spot and
is
really
there
good
parking
drinks.
up front? Is it going to be? Do you want cars?
We are going to have a couple of small, couple of small cars.
Okay. Well, if you want, I put it on my calendar. So if you want the Safari car there, the Safari, I'll bring it.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Happy to do it. Thank you for joining us, live audience. And if you're not with us live, thank you for joining us fucking not live. That's cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, Ryan Zumallen. That is our show for you tonight, folks. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is a microphone, a connection to the internet, and ideally something to say. See you next time.